1. You're live.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Reggie Kearney, and tonight, yes, I am. I'm right here. And I'm with my co-host, Sherry Tappan, who's live in New York City. And this is Real World News Talk Show. And tonight, we're just going to kick it around since we're live. This is our first time being live on Facebook. And we're just going to talk about some of the issues that are going on in our country today. We got issues with the president, the Trump administration. We got issues with things that are happening in Puerto Rico, threats of nuclear warfare, the division that's taking place in our nation among us all. And even, the biggest thing that's hitting this country right now is talking about the anthem and kneeling during the anthem. And we just want to spend an hour talking about those issues and getting your feedback. You can hit us up on Facebook with your comments, and our lovely producer will take care of that. She will be glad to post them, and we'll have some interaction tonight. But first of all, we want to talk about Puerto Rico for a minute. And we are having some technical difficulties tonight with getting Cheryl's camera up. So right now it's just me. And I hope y'all like listening to me. But it's a travesty about what's going on in Puerto Rico right now. I think the lack of attention being paid to that country is very disappointing, but we know where it's coming from. Puerto Rico is a country of people of color, and my strongest feeling is if it was a country that was basically a European culture, that Trump would be more apt to step in and do what he has to do to take care of those people. So it's a travesty about what's going on in Puerto Rico at this time. Lack of food, lack of housing, and lack of water. I've seen a couple articles, one in particular on CNN, and also we talked about on the show on MSNBC about how people are going into the toxic areas where they have thrown away the waste. Chemical waste, nuclear waste, things of that nature, and going into those wells, and those wells are full of chemicals where people need water. Ben Carson and HUD haven't done what they need to do, and it's very disappointing, that these people are really struggling at this time to bring their lives back together. And I think we as a country, we got to raise our voice, especially those of us in the minority community, such as the African American community, the Hispanic community, and other communities. We need to raise our voices and be heard, and ask the Trump administration to make sure that these people get what they need to get. Now, he's made some comments in the last couple of days that that's our president, talking about how they can't spend all their time and efforts forever in Puerto Rico. Well, my feeling is you got to stay down there as long as you need to stay down there, because people in Puerto Rico are hurt. If you got to stay down there 5, 10, 15 years to get Puerto Rico back together, you've got to make sure that happens. And to say that and make it seem like they're making the country go broke, then that's very disappointing. But if he would take some of the money that he uses going golfing, many times he's going golfing since he's been in the White House, then that wouldn't be such a big issue. There would be plenty of money. But he spends all his money, the country's money, the taxpayers' money, going back and forth to his resorts, playing golf and doing everything else he wants to do. Even after before he became president, he criticized the former president one of the greatest presidents of all time, Barack Obama, for taking vacations. And Barack didn't even take probably 10% of the vacations that Trump has taken in the time he's been in office. So again, there's a lot of issues there, with Trump, so this issue, what's going on in Puerto Rico, is very important. And we have to, write our congressmen, write our senators, and let them know that we will not accept this. And his criticism of the mayor, San Juan, and other government officials is not washing well with a lot of people. So that's one of the hottest items that's going on right now, that's happening here in this country. So please call up your senator, call your congressman, and voice your opinion about what's going on. Just wanted to take a minute before we go any further to recognize our sponsors. This show is sponsored by Shades of Africa, SPMG Media, the Urban Sentinel, and Ninth Island Culture Club of Las Vegas. So we want to thank those sponsors for being a part of the show and sponsoring other shows on Hot Topics Radio. So we really appreciate them. As I said earlier, we are having some technical difficulties, and at this time we don't have Sharon Tappert with us.
I'm here, Reggie.
Okay, but okay.
I know Chair has been having some issues with some things on her end. It's pretty tough to do these broadcasts when you've got hosts that are all over the country. They're spread out everywhere.
Right.
So, you know what you were saying, Reggie, and I'll fill in for Chair as she's trying to reconnect. But like you were saying, I think it's very important that we become more involved. I mean, it's easy for us to sit back and watch the news and the television critic,
right,
if you will, right? But not get involved. But let me ask you this question, and I hate to sound like I'm interviewing you, but it's just a question. With the latest of Puerto Rico, the billions of dollars that they said that they are going to enact for the rescue of Puerto Rico and for rebuilding, if it's taken this long for them to get resources to people, I mean, just as simple as plain water, right? If it's taking this long to get just everyday resources to them, how long do you think that it's actually going to be that they're going to allocate funds for them to start rebuilding the processes that have already been in place, or to better those processes?
I think it's going to be a while. I mean, because Ben Constant hasn't even been down to Puerto Rico yet, or the Virgin Islands, to visit the president of the Virgin Islands, But it's going to take a minute because, until he goes down there and his team from HUD goes down and they make an assessment of what's going on, how can they even decide how much money they want to put in Puerto Rico? I mean, you've seen everything that's taking place on CNN and MSNBC, and they've shown us the devastation in Puerto Rico. But so I guess Ben Carson is sitting at home looking at CNN or MSNBC to determine how much money he's got to put in there by just looking at the stuff on TV. I was looking at it Saturday morning, looking at Joel Reed's program on Saturday morning, and they were the reporter was in Puerto Rico at one of the housing projects, and literally the front of the building was blown off, the back of the building was blown off. Okay, and they were probably up on probably look like the 8th or 9th floor. Okay, this building is going to have. Both buildings in this housing development are going to have to be torn down and rebuilt. And she even said that because of the tornadoes that were in the area, in one apartment where the front the front was sucked off the building, a lady was sucked out along with the building because of the pressure from the tornado. So Carson is sitting up in D.C. on his butt in his office, not doing anything, not addressing the issue. Once they do allocate money, if they ever allocate the money, you're talking about probably a 3 to 5 year or maybe 8 year project. The rebuild this country. You know, they're taking too much time. Okay, I mean, it's just crazy. You know, the lack of enthusiasm by this government to get things done, this administration to get things done.
Right. You know what? But I can't help but think, and I hate to bring this up every time that I'm on a conversation that has to do with people suffering, but I'm just going to put it out there. Anytime that there is people of color that is in need, I think that the process always slows down. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't know, but I just think that the processes slow down when it has to do with people of color, no matter what region or geography that we're speaking on. Is it just me?
Like I said, if it was a European culture in Puerto Rico, meaning white folks, there would be a strong presence of the United States in that country, okay? I mean, everybody, you know, I'm going to say it, okay? If somebody come by my house tonight, knock on the door, want to arrest me, then they can, okay? Trump is racist, okay? And he has racist tendencies, okay? That's being seen at this time in this country with the division in this country. Okay, he's causing a great division, okay? Now, so if, like I said, it's been Nebraska or North Dakota, South Dakota was jacked up, he would take care of it. But he feels, he doesn't feel, well, see, okay, wait. And this is a good one here, right? Okay. Look, listen. First of all, he don't know his geography, okay? He don't know where Puerto Rico is anyway. Only reason he got down is Air Force One took him there, okay? So he doesn't know that Puerto Rico is a U.S. colony, okay? He just thinks it's an island off the coast, okay? So
that's what he said. He called it an island. And I was like, what?
So it's obvious that he's having problems understanding the geographic location of Puerto Rico, okay? Next, you know, so I think that's the biggest issue, okay? Okay, look, when the man says he talked to the president of the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, then you know there's a big
right.
And then when,
I think I got chair back. Hang on. Hang on, Reggie. Because, see, I don't want to monopolize this. And I told you, if I have to sit in, it's going to be bad. So.
Okay. So we lost Tony again, but it's
but you got me.
You know, with Trump.
Hey, Reggie, how you doing?
Welcome back. You know, we were just talking about Trump. And I was going to say that when his professor said that he wasn't a very bright student, you know, we know he's got problems identifying with Puerto Rico and where the U.S. Virgin Islands is, and who's the president of the U.S. Virgin Islands. You know, that he's got real issues, you know. And his professor pointed out that he wasn't one of the brightest ones in the school. That he taught he wasn't one of the brightest students that he had. You know, so I just think, you know, lack of knowledge is very apparent, you know, and I think that's one of the things that's holding back what's going on in Puerto Rico. And then at the same time, like when I think you say you could hear us, but we couldn't see you. You know, with Ben Constant, you know, he hasn't lifted a thumb or finger to go down and check out the devastation and make an assessment of what type of housing is going to have to be put down there and when to get it started to take care of those people in Puerto Rico. Your thoughts? Well, I think we're still having technical difficulties with my co-host. So Tony is behind the scenes trying to work that out for us. But
I'm back. I don't know what it is. We just keep losing her connection.
Yeah.
So I'll keep popping in so you don't look crazy talking to yourself.
Please. I don't mind talking to myself. I hope I got some viewers out there listening to me. You know, just lack of knowledge, I think, is one of the biggest things that's hurting us down in Puerto Rico. You know, his lack of knowledge and understanding the area. You know, but I think one of the things we got to prepare for on the mainland is that probably going to find a lot of people leaving Puerto Rico and coming to the United States, come to the mainland to start new lives. And I think the people who do come won't return because of the devastation that's going to be there for a while. You know, so I have really we're concerned about this. So moving on to other things that have happened this week in my area, in the D.C. metro area, I'm kind of really pissed off with Trump for his statements he made about the greatest president ever, former President Barack Obama, concerning fallen soldiers yesterday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
I don't want to cuss on your show, but he just pulls shit out of his ass. Is it just me?
Yeah, I think it's everyone. You know, so I was really irritated with that statement. I mean, how many times did our former president, the greatest president of all time, he made a lot of phone calls while he was in office to fallen soldiers.
Yeah, he did.
He made a lot, okay?
Yeah, he did.
At the same time, he was faced with a number of mass shootings that took place during his 8 years in office. That he addressed the people of the country. He went and visited his people. He addressed the people from his heart, not off of a piece of paper that one of the secretaries wrote before, you know, he went on. You know, everything he spoke from the heart. Not like our present president who allows his secretary to write the memo for him and then he reads it. You know, but he spoke. And so, I mean, it seems like he has 45. Feels like he has to lie in order to have some self-worth, okay? But
the lie doesn't create self-worth. It just keeps getting, well, the unfortunate part is it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think the craziest part is that the bigger the lie and the more it continues, he has nerve. Yeah, but he has nerve to say what's fake news, what's not fake news. You know, he then puts things off on everyone else as being their fault or the reasons why things fail. And the craziest part I think about all of this is that people are still following him. His base has not diminished. That's the crazy part. Because when he said those things about Barack Obama yesterday or 2 days ago about him not addressing the issues of fallen soldiers, not calling, not writing letters, or just being there for those families, people knew that was an outright lie because there's footage of him being at the air bases when these kids' bodies were coming home.
Correct. So it's very, you know, but he feels like if he can't make front page, I think sometimes he lies just so he can make front page. But then, you know, he tries to wiggle out the lie by saying, oh, that's the information my staff gave me. His staff hasn't given him no information like that.
No.
He's doing everything to take away Obama's legacy, and he can't do it, okay? You know, and that's the whole thing, you know. What Obama did when he was in office will be in the history books. And the his administration, after 45 comes out, would be he destroyed everything that was ever put in place. Okay. The disappointing thing about it, if the Democrats are ever able to regain the White House, what's going to happen is that they're going to have to clean up the mess that he leaves behind. You know, and when I'm talking about a mess, when you look at his secretaries that are in place to run these agencies, they're basically tearing these agencies up. You know, you're talking about there are 500 key positions that people are hired based on the hiring process in the West Wing. There haven't been maybe 25 of them, maybe have been filled, you know, and there's no indication that he's going to fill those positions. So he's running short staff, you know, You know, you take the State Department, most of the key people who had left, that were from the Obama administration, they have left. There's only one key undersecretary working in the State Department there, and that person is a carryover from the Obama administration. So
right,
the issues that are going to have to be addressed once he comes out of office, because the country's going to be pretty much devastated and jacked up after he comes out of office.
Well, you know what? And I keep waiting for this investigation to come to a conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm too hopeful, but I think once the investigation has concluded, I think that there's going to be so much that comes out that he is going to be charged with treason. I think we all know that. But it's just that waiting game that we have to face. So in the waiting game, I mean, how do you know that you're safe in this country with a man at the helm such as Donald Trump?
Well, I think one of the things that will happen in this country, a coup d'etat, okay? And the reason I say that is the Republicans are in office now, and the people who run the military will not let Trump destroy this country or this world, okay? We're not a third world country. We're a very sophisticated, intelligent group of people here in this country, and I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. We have a strong constitution, and I think the last thing they want to do is for Trump to destroy this country and other countries around the world. I think even if it came down to the fact, if he tried to force the guy carrying the playbook to put the code in for to shoot nuclear weapons towards North Korea, I don't think he'll do it. You know, I just think that would be a big pushback. And from what, some news reports I've seen, there is a slight pushback within the military on what to do in case Trump really falls off the deep end. So, and I as bad as this country is now and the politics of this country, I really don't think the Republicans will allow that to happen. I mean, come on now.
I don't know. I don't know, Reg. I don't know, because see, it would make them look bad, and that's not the look of the Republicans.
Let me tell you something.
I think they would rather have this country in total destruction, rather than cow down and say, you know what, let me eat a little crow because we were wrong. I don't think that they have it in them.
Look, I do. I think, not being not trying to develop a conspiracy theory here at this time, but things do happen to people sometimes, okay? All right? And I can see if there was an all-out war, the United States visiting another country was able to penetrate this country to do some damage, the first area would be Washington, D.C. Now, I'm just a few miles south of Washington, okay? So I have a very, very big concern. They're not going to go to Las Vegas first, okay? It's going to be areas of power, okay? Washington, New York, places like that, that's where it's going to be, But I think that before they let him go down, take this country down, they'll take him down, okay? And because if this country falls into a terrible war, the economy is going to fall, okay? It's too much money.
Well, that's inevitable.
Yeah,
that's inevitable.
The Dow went over 23,000 a day. It didn't finish at 23,000, but it went up there. The economy is, the economy was doing good for Trump got in office. Everything that's happening in the economy now is a byproduct of what President Obama did. So
absolutely,
money talks, okay? BS walks, okay? These guys got too much money invested in this country to allow someone like Trump to take it down, okay? He's one person, okay? And believe me, there are people that will get people to get the job done, okay? And I really believe that, we have to trust in our government. On the sneezy side of the government, we have to trust them, okay? You know, because there's a sneaky side to the government, okay? And I'm pretty sure they're talking behind Trump's back on what might have to be done to keep him, keep him under control. You know, and I don't have a problem with that, okay? I don't have a problem.
I don't know.
You know.
I don't know. I wish I had that piece of me that you have right now. Yeah. I just don't believe that they will find a way of keeping him in control. They can't control him now. They can't control him now. What are they going to do? Take him out in the back and tie him up to the barn? I mean, seriously.
You can create illnesses, okay? You can create heart attacks. You can create strokes. You can create a lot of things that impairs a person for a while, okay? And the medical technology decided to do it, okay?
You've been watching too much Scandal.
No, it's not even that. No, it's not even that. We got a strong economy at this time, and I just see, I can just see them doing something like that, and we would never know. Okay, come on now. If the news report came on tomorrow morning that Trump was taken to Walter Reed Hospital with illness, we will accept the fact that he's sick. Okay, man, if you don't ever come back to the White House and they say he's in a coma, we'll accept that. Okay, come on now. These people, this money. People that are billionaires and stuff like that, they don't want that money messed with. It's like the operation of the mafia, okay?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah, it is. It's like operation of the mafia. It is. Oh my gosh. But I like I said, I wish I had as much faith that they would stop all of his hoo-ha, if that's a word, before everything just runs amok. Yeah. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think it's going to get so much worse.
Well, I think so too. I think it'll get better, but I think it will get better. Okay, and this is a problem. My analysis is we have to worry about his third and fourth year. We have to worry about the fourth year. Anything else?
Yeah,
okay? That's when the crap could jump off the out the frying pan. Okay. His fourth year, when he might feel like he might not get reelected again, he would probably act like a fool that fourth year, trying to tear down the world. And I think
I agree with that.
I think he relishes a nuclear war. I think he really wants to blow North Korea off the map.
You know what? I have the same feeling, and I don't. What have I missed something that? I'm not sure what I missed. Where he has got so much disdain for Korea. I'm just, did I miss something?
He wants a war. He can't pick on China. He won't pick on Russia. So pick on North Korea. The worst thing that would happen if he blew up North Korea would be China and Russia might cut diplomatic ties with the United States for a while, or China might say, look, we want our money back right away. All these loans they made in the United States. So those are things that can happen. But he would never pull this stunt on Russia or pull the stunt he's pulling down North Korea with China. He knows better. I mean, the guy, he's crazy, okay, but he ain't that crazy, okay? He knows who to pick on, right? So for him to pick on them is a good thing, okay? So those are things we really have to be worried about him. He's looking for a war, Well, okay. Check this out. More prisons to house, more federal prisons to house immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's going to build these prisons? His friends.
Yeah, and our money.
Yeah.
To house us.
To house, the news report said to house immigrants.
To house immigrants, and what do you think comes next?
What is his problem? Building prisons. I mean, I tell you.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. Okay, now obviously he does not know anything about the First Amendment because of the NFL. This kind of thing. It's peaceful demonstration, right? So obviously That's the only amendment he probably, I'm not going to say he knows that. But think about it. Building more prisons for immigrants. All right. But you still have the 13th Amendment that's in place, which says that we are still slaves.
Right. But look, what now it says based on talking about what they can be used as labor in prison. Okay. Slavery did go away except in the prison system. Okay.
So, okay. So tell me how that's different.
I looked at it, and when I heard it, I read it and thought about it. I had the same thoughts you had. Okay, yes, but if you're in prison, you're a slave. Okay, now we probably feel like we're prison in this country sometimes, but if you're in prison, the prison system can use you to their benefit. Okay, it was like where was the guy at the sheriff that made a comment that they need good people in jail to help get the job done. What was that at?
I've heard that. I've heard that. I don't know where it comes from though.
I don't know. It was Alabama, Mississippi, or something like that. But that's that thought pattern. Keep the good ones in prison to service to do the job, clean mowing grass and clean the big white folks' houses and stuff like that. Come on now.
Yeah.
And we have to and the thing that bothers me that I feel like a lot of African Americans, Black Americans, whatever you want to be called, I don't think they're aware of the things that are going on in this country right now, the seriousness of a lot of this stuff, the attitudes of whites at this time, to try to take us back to a time that we have fought hard to come out of. And I look at young people, I listen to the music. Some of them do have a social conscience, but a lot of them don't have a social conscience. They don't understand what's going on. I mean, building more federal prisons, using taxpayers' money to fund his buddies' businesses and construction businesses and things of that nature. So we're going backwards to a certain extent. So we need to wake up.
You're right.
Just like Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing. We got to wake up. And we got to be what's going on around our surroundings. And that's my biggest disappointment that I have with our community now, that we are not, we don't understand what's going on around us. We don't look at the news.
I agree.
We don't read the papers. You don't even have to read the papers no more. If you got a smartphone, you can bring the news up on your smartphone.
You can bring up anything. Right. You can.
Yeah. So it's very disappointing that we are not doing what we need to do to understand what's going on around us. And that's what can really set us back. I have to give it to Reverend Barber for keeping us informed and protesting. Right. And doing what he's doing to try to keep us on our toes to understand that this country is going backwards.
Yeah, it sure is.
You can look at the politics in North Carolina with the Republican House and Senate in North Carolina. It's like for the Republican Party, that's a laboratory to see how much of the envelope they can push to get things done to keep Democrats out. Now they want to start voting for Supreme Court justices in North Carolina because they got 2 blacks on there. They want to have them appointed. They want to do everything they can. Anytime they see African Americans moving ahead, they want to create something, a roadblock to keep them from going ahead.
That's going to knock them down.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what's going on.
What's going to happen if the Republicans feel like a state of North Carolina can keep pushing the envelope, then they're going to try to start pushing the envelope nationally. And that's why it's so important we go out and vote in these elections when they come up. We need to pay more attention to our local politics than we pay to our national politics at the time, because we can get more done on the state level than we can on the national level, because Trump ain't doing that. So we have to be conscious of that, So,
but let me ask you this question, though, because I think you and I say the same thing over and over again about being more involved in our communities, being a part of the voting process of what has been, people have died for this, for us to take advantage of the vote. But what do you think that it's going to take to get people to get out there to those polls, to exercise their right to vote. Because where we are right now is a standstill.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping that people are seeing what's going on in this country now and they'll wake up, okay? And that's what they've got to do. And I think a lot of the people in a lot of different communities understand the fact that we don't pay attention to what's going on. You know, so we allow a lot to get by that we don't pay attention to. You know, so
Right.
We really need to pay attention to what's going on. You know, we really need to do that. You know, so it's hard to answer that question because there are a lot of us who know what's going on, and there are a lot of us that really don't pay attention to what's going on. You know, so
Right.
I don't know what's going
I
to
agree
take.
with that.
You know, I don't know what's going to take. You know, but maybe when they start seeing these prisons being built and see us going to prison, see immigrants going to prison, that'll be an outcry. I really wish sometimes that we had that we were like some of our countries in South America and other countries where, in some of the European countries where people come together spontaneously to protest. You know, just think if we took a page out of the book of some of the people in the countries of South America, the European countries, and just stayed 1 week protest and shut this nation down. You know, just think about what would happen. Things will change if we start really protest, but we don't. We caught up in our jobs, we caught up in our housing, we caught up in our families, we caught up in our money, we caught up because we can do anything we want to do in this country because of freedom. That we let things slide. It's a two-party system, and it's not a good system. Okay, and we've seen the byproducts of a two-party system right now. So. As long as we are free, hi Jacqueline, as long as we are free and we're able to do things the way we want to do, it's not going to change. It's hard to change people, their habits, you know. But if we start taking away stuff from people, then they realize what's going on. You know, but it's never going to happen in this country, you know. And I think we've gotten too much on a silver platter that we just don't want to get. We don't. Okay, we got ours. Okay, and as long as we got ours, we doing good. Okay, we doing.
You know, and with that, I want to say that the Real World News Radio show and the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Also sponsored by SPMG Media. Thank you, Ms. Gina Smith, who happens to also be our publicist here at the network. Also, thank you, Reggie Kearney, for your support and for you coming in here and doing the show. You guys got to check out Urban Sentinel. You're talking about real news. That's what you need to check out. Reggie and Kearney is the editor-in-chief and CEO there at Urban Sentinel. If you want more information on our sponsors, head on over to our website, which I'm still having some work done on, but head on over to the website at hottopictalkradio.com/sponsors. But before we lose a little time, I wanted to try and transition into something else that has been going on in the news. And, you know, and I want to say this, Chera Ann, I'm sitting in for her. Thank you, Chera. She's like, kind of like sending messages and all that. She's having some technical issues. And like I said, this happens when you are live, and especially when you've got people all over the country who are broadcasting from all over. So this does happen, but we're going to make sure that we figure out what was going on with Chera's feed, and we'll be having her back up and running on the next show. But with everything that is going on around us, now we have to add in the NFL protests with them taking a knee, which is something that Roland D and I are going to be talking about at length tomorrow night on our show. But why do you think people are just so ready to say it has to do with the flag, or it has to do with the sanctity of our country? What is that, when we know that's not the issue?
Well, again, we got to go back to 45. It's a division in this country, okay? Now, with everything Mueller was trying to do to bring this guy down, he needed a distraction, okay? Now, and so the distraction was to come up, and hop on the fact that the players weren't respecting the flag, they weren't respecting the national anthem, to get his base aroused, and then he called them an SOB. If you go back and look at his speech he gave in Alabama during his time, you can see how he roused his base. That's what he loves to do, because he ain't getting nothing done in D.C. Nobody can stand him here in D.C. So he's getting beat down. So he goes to the pep rallies to get his mojo back on, okay? So in the process of trying to get his mojo back on, he makes a comment like that, calling the players SOBs. First of all, it was a racist statement because most of the players been taking the knee have been African American, okay? Secondly, he called somebody's mama a bitch, okay?
I didn't hear that part.
He called him a SOB, right? Son of a bitch, right? Okay, so he called somebody's mama a bitch, okay?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm slow, Reggie. I'm slow.
That's what you got to look at, okay? So, then he done got his base. The media's all of them throw them some meat. They're hungry now. So only thing they see is the fact that these men are taking. They haven't listened to the message now. They done muddled the message up now. They done messed the message up because they need to show the country and get the country to listen to the fact that African Americans are getting killed by police brutality, and everything else that's happening in the African American community that's affecting the African Americans. Okay, that's all they're trying to do. But then Trump throws in there, well, they kneeling doing the national anthem, which is, if you go down to the third stanza, that song is a racist song. Okay. Now, I know that's our national anthem, but it's a racist song, okay? So if you look at the third stanza. So then what you have, the red meat out there. And so that's what they're using. So the message has been diluted, okay? The message is not even out there no more, because every week you got somebody bringing it up as a protest against the national. They kneel doing the national anthem and the pledge of allegiance. They don't respect the country. They don't respect vets. A lot of the vets, and I've listened to a lot of reports, they're for it. They don't feel disrespected. They understand what the message is. Except for Trump, he doesn't understand what the message is. So I think that's what has happened with that message. It's been diluted because of his. I got to watch myself. I ain't gonna say nothing, no more cuss. But he got to watch what he's doing. So he's destroyed the message. So now you have Jerry Jones comes out one week and sits down, kneels before the game with his players locked on. But then the next week he comes out and says, anybody not standing for the national anthem, they're not going to play. Look, let me tell you. Okay, now you see, you done got me started.
That's the most ridiculous thing. I know I done got some stuff started because that's what I do.
Well, look, okay, let's check this out. Okay, I'm glad that the NFL players, especially our African American NFL players, are making great money. Okay, I ain't jealous of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm glad they're able to make millions of dollars a year and live a great lifestyle. Okay. But sometimes you got to stand up for what's right. Now, the poll of the players, especially the stars on the Dallas Cowboys team, they say they're gonna play. They're not gonna take a knee. Just think if all of them took a knee on Sunday, and then the following Sunday, Jerry Jones has to either do it or eat crow. We're gonna do bench the whole team and forfeit the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes, but I think a lot of times we don't realize the power we have. Okay. To make changes.
Yeah.
Okay. That we have power on that field. Just think if we were able to create another league and woo all the great players in the NFL from the NFL.
That's powerful.
Cheaper tickets, cheaper venues to play in. Okay. Play in a college stadium somewhere. Play in an HBCU stadium. Okay. Take the power away from those owners and break them. Then we earn a lot of respect. Okay, but
That's
right
powerful.
now, they're making millions and millions of dollars, and that's what they want to do. Okay, that's what they want to do. They want to make that money. You know, that money has clouded their thinking. Okay, and so they got to, until they can look beyond the money and see that they have the power. Yeah, they're gonna be treated like slaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they
I just have a problem with the fact that whatever is being said by your president, because he's surely not mine, people just latch on to, you know, the fact that the NFL protest is about the flag. It never started out as being about the flag.
No, it wasn't.
But it's somehow, you know, everybody wants to jump on that bandwagon as to say, you know, blacks are disrespecting the flag. But you see some white players that are taking a knee. You see, you know, a number of different people of different ethnicities taking a knee. You see even fans now who are not standing up in their seats at the stadium, who are in support of what these players are doing.
Yeah.
So to make it about the flag and people jumping on that bandwagon, yeah, that's the part I have a problem with. And that's the part where I'm going to get down dirty with it tomorrow night on Hot Topics Talk Radio with D. It's just, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it half the time. I'm going to have to gather my thoughts a lot.
It's you know, the message is gone. Then, you know, you can't prove it, and you know, I wish it was a way to prove. But the owners are in collusion to keep Kaepernick out of the league. Okay. Half the quarterbacks in the league are worse than he is right now. He's one of the better quarterbacks out there right now, but nobody wants to.
Right.
Green Bay lost a quarterback. Other teams have lost the starters this year. Running the back. If I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, I won't have Colin Kaepernick on my team. You know,
no kidding.
They won't bring him in. You know, they won't bring him in. So there's definitely a pact among the owners not to bring him back in. Okay, and that's disappointing. That's sad. Okay, and
it is sad because what it did, it forced him to now sue a league or sue the NFL to whom he has held so true for years. And, you know, this has been not only his family, but these are his fellow players, people that he holds true to what that is that he does for a living, to the sport, and to people that he's come up on or with throughout the league. So I think it's sad that we have forced this man out of a profession that he knows. And of course he's done well for himself, but I think it's sad that you force someone out because of what they believe in. You know, and that's what the First Amendment is all about.
Yeah.
You know.
And basically if 45 could rewrite the Constitution, he'd probably take the First Amendment out. You know, he wants laws that allow law enforcement to remove people for spontaneous protests and things of that nature, you know, that protests that might cause riots and stuff, you know. Where he need to take care of is more expensive first. He going around the country with all this hate talk, you know.
Yeah.
Saying, you know, riots and things of that nature. He needs to take care of that. But my greatest disappointment with the NFL this year, but not even with the NFL, is with the fans, okay? I don't think the fans understand what's going on because of the simple fact the fans aren't boycotting the games. You know, they wearing the paraphernalia. You know, okay, I'm in Washington. I'm a Redskin fan, but I haven't put on a piece of Redskin gear this year. Okay, I really haven't paid attention to football this year because I don't like what's going on. You know, for me to put on some Redskin gear means I support what's going on that I don't support the college. Okay.
But let me ask you this question though, because you're saying that you don't support what's going on. Do you not support the issues with the fans? What are they boycotting the NFL and the games?
Fans are boycott. I think the fans are boycott along with the players, we can bring these owners to the knees and get them to understand it's not about the anthem, it's not about the players. Participate in community dialogue to help solve some of these issues, okay? You know, and that's not happening. And the fans, you talk to the average fan, they probably don't know what's going on. They heard what was going on, but they still support these teams. I mean, I call Dallas a prison team. What was that movie that was out with the players were from prison? They were playing NFL. They were playing pro football.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it right now. But that Jerry Jones, he's two-faced. He goes out here. He brings players in. They got long criminal records. He plays them. Done beat the wives up and everything else they done. Gives them a second chance and talks about how they are leaders on the team. But then he won't support support a protest against police brutality and everything else that's going on in the country that affects African Americans. Yeah, who spend a lot of money on paraphernalia. Now, on any given Sunday, you can see Pookie and the boys stand on the corner with their NFL gear on, all during the weekend, especially on Sunday. Okay, that's our mentality. That's our thinking. Okay, we spend all this money. Look, and this is the biggest thing. Okay. If you ask some of them Dallas Cowboy fans, have they ever been to Dallas? They ain't never been to Dallas, okay?
You don't think so, Reg?
They have, and I ask some of them sometimes, say, you ever been to Dallas? Now, I've been to Dallas a number of times. I used to work for a corporation out of Dallas, so I've been there a couple times. But, I ask them, you ever been to Dallas? Nope. Why you support Dallas Cowboy? Why you support the Washington Redskins? That's a hometown team. Oh, they like Dallas, but you ain't never been to Dallas. Okay, so but that's how a lot of sport fans are. They support teams they ain't never been to. I got to stop saying that. If my English people still living, she probably getting on top of me. They haven't been to these cities. So it's just we don't have a social conscience in our community. Real, not like our parents did, our grandparents did back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s when they were fighting for our rights. Okay, and they fought hard. They died. They bled, but they got us where we are now. And we allow 45 to take us back. We're slipping. We don't have that social conscience,
Sad.
Yeah, it is real sad, And like I said, I think until we have a day of protest, my cousin posted on my Facebook page yesterday that we should have a brownout day.
I like that.
Color, Hispanic, whoever of color, take a day off. Close this country down.
I like that. And that's unfortunate that a lot of people can't take advantage of something like that because, when they lose a day, they lose their income.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, that sometimes we have to sacrifice those things.
Thank you. And that's what our parents and grandparents and great grandparents did. Just think if we had a brownout day. Just think what would McDonald's do? But most of us work in McDonald's.
Exactly.
You see what a brownout day do to McDonald's? They probably get them for
I don't even want to think about it.
On an hour.
Yeah.
That's the power we have. We don't even realize we got that power.
That's the sad part. Yeah. That's the part that saddens me.
Yeah, look at your airport.
It really does.
Who's working the service areas in the airport? People of color.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just think about it. Well, I know TSA don't want to lose a job, but just think about it. TSA took a day off. Nobody went in.
Oh, geez. Can you imagine?
Yeah. We have so...
That would be bad.
That would be bad if TSA took a day off.
Wow.
Back in the airport because the managers had to jump on and take the job, do the job. Lord have mercy. We could close it down. We have the power.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
Where's the power?
Well, we are coming up on this last couple of minutes. And before we go, I do want to say thank you to those who have sat in with us and listened in and saw the first broadcast. We had some glitches going on in the very beginning, but of course, we're going to get that all worked out. And again, these are the things that happen when you've got hosts who are spread out all over the country. But Chair Ann Tappan, she is sitting in and she is commenting as we are on air, because I am sitting in for her. This is not what I do. I usually sit behind the buttons, okay, because this is their show. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who had sat in and actually viewed tonight's show. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Shades of Africa, also Urban Sentinel, and that's him, Reggie Kearney, and also SPMG Media and Ninth Island Cultural Club. So I do want to say thank you to our sponsors. They actually make sure that we can do this every week, and now bringing this to a new platform. So we do want to say thank you to our sponsors. Also, thank you again to those who have been listening in and watching for the first time for Real World News Radio. Make sure that you do share this information with your Facebook friends, as well as those who are all over social media. We invite you to share it because we do want to engage our audience with as much truth and information, because these broadcasts are here to invoke thought. Okay, so you're not always listening to the same thing on the same news shows and not knowing what you're getting. So again, I just want to say thank you again. But Reggie, we've got about 5 minutes left. Do you want to give any shout outs, say anything about anything new going on?
Well, I'm glad we're taking on this new platform through technology to be live on Facebook. I think it's good for our listeners to be able to see people who are, doing the show. I mean, I think we did good with Blog Talk Radio, but now we're live. And I want everyone that's listening or whoever views this on YouTube, please tell your friends about us. Go to our page, Real World News, our Facebook page, and like us so you can be, you'll know when we're on Facebook Live. We really want you all to chime in. We want you to leave your comments on our Facebook page. Even put topics down there you'd like for us to discuss on our Facebook page. We're looking forward to, doing this for a long time. We're looking to move up the ladder. Hey, who knows where we'll be at 5 years from now? We might have our own talk show on one of the major television networks. Never know. And that's what we start. So, please tell your friends about us. Tell them, if they missed the show, they can go to YouTube in a couple hours or tomorrow and view the show on YouTube. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back and we'll be engaging with some new topics in 2 weeks. And hopefully in a year or so, we might be doing this every Tuesday night. That's the news.
All right, because that's what I'm trying to push to do.
Yes. Yeah.
But y'all so doggone busy. Got all kind of things going on in the community and all that.
Yeah. I think a lampshade or light put in my car, and then I can do it in the car. I have a background, okay?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah. But again, Real World News Radio with Chair Ann Tappan and Reggie Kearney are here every 2 weeks. And again, like I said, I'm going to try and figure out how I can get them to do it every week. Hey, Lucy, what's going on? It just so happens she catches me on your show.
I'm glad it happened.
But yeah, I do want to again thank everyone who had been such a great support in what we're doing and now moving it to a new platform. So you can make sure to catch Real World News Radio right here on Facebook under Real World News on Facebook. No more Blog Talk, no more phones, no more holding the phone, waiting to get in on the call, all that kind of stuff. So now you can chat with us. We put your chat comments up. And if any questions or comments, we address them. right as we are on air. So make sure that you come on back right here on Real World News Radio in 2 weeks. But until then, come on and visit Roland D and I tomorrow night on Hot Topics Talk Radio. We'll be doing a show tomorrow night on taking a knee. We're going to get real dirty and down and deep with it. So, you know, we cuss on our show. Reggie and Chera, you know, they're proper. They're smart people. Me and D, we go in. So don't shake your head at me, Reggie Kearney. But come on back here on Hot Topics Talk Radio. Not here on Real World News. We'll be on Hot Topic Talk Radio's Facebook page tomorrow night live. The show does begin at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And then on Thursday night, who is it? Real World News. On Thursday night, it's Man to Man Radio with Richard Hall and Chris Smith. And you know how crazy they are. So just make sure that you continue to support the efforts of the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network, because everything that we do is for you. Okay? So, ready to get out of here, Reg?
Yeah, let's go. See you in 2 weeks.
All right. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Chair Ann, we will get you all hooked up in 2 weeks. Okay? Make sure that you're hooked up. So until then, have a good night, everybody, and God bless. Keep God first. Good night.
Good night.